I would like to know. Oh, he's getting fancy over there.
This is Hollywood. This is
Hollywood.
Joe Hollywood there.
Who's the oldest family member that you can remember? Do you remember your grandparents? Or your can you remember great grandparents?
My grandmother's sister. She
Which
operated
grandmother? Which grandmother?
on the Stewart side.
Okay. So Carrie McKinney Stewart's sister.
Yeah. Yes.
That's the oldest family member.
Yeah.
What do you remember about her?
She was old. She was in her 90s, which is not too bad for those times.
Yeah.
And she ran her own business. And all the records. I think there was a typewriter. There was a typewriter in there, not powered or anything, but and
Remember what the business was?
Yeah.
insurance,
Insurance business. Wow,
Yeah.
for a woman at that time.
home insurance, and I think at that time they were also doing auto insurance along with homes, which is not too much different from today, I guess.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Having a woman run her own business at that.
yeah, it is. Well, she was an old maid, and I don't remember. She just was very, very dismissive of children. I would go over there, and she was in Cliftondale, which is about maybe a mile and a half from her office. So I used to be able to walk over there and say hello, and she didn't really.
What was her name? Do you remember her name?
Hazel.
Hazel. Hazel McKinney?
Yeah.
And she never had any children. Was never married.
No.
Tell us about your house growing up. Okay, so growing up, are there some things about the house that you remember that are maybe unique or maybe that have...
Yeah, it was small. They had 3 small bedrooms, as I recall,
Okay.
and
Which one was yours?
Hmm?
Which one was yours? Which
it was the middle bedroom, the one at the back of the house. That's where my 2 sisters. They had 2 twin beds.
Oh, okay. I remember
I
that.
got my own room, my own toys, my own clothes. Beautiful condition. No, it's the truth.
Yeah, that's good.
That's why you asked.
So, I'm just curious. 2 sisters. How would you describe their personalities, Alice and Barbara? How would you describe them, and how are they different than you, or the same as you?
Well, Alice is she's had a long struggle of her whole life, and she's been, different mental conditions, at times debilitating, other times
But when she was a
no
teenager,
problem.
When she was a teenager, she had those issues? Did Alice have those when she was a teenager? Did she have those issues?
Yes, that's what I was trying to explain. Yeah, she did, and she still does, and she's had a tough life, but she's kind, loving, good Christian. She's a very, very warm person, and as is my Ed Crom, her husband. And not her husband.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
How was Barbara different, or was she?
Barbara was just kind of reserved and just kind of stayed in the shadows and just didn't. I don't know. She didn't. Yeah, I think she was just kind of just just kind of like my mother. I mean, I mean, the same that type is like my mother is, just very aloof.
Okay.
Oh no, I guess a better matchup or similarity would be with my dad
Okay.
and and Barbara's similitude of him in the distance.
Okay.
Always in the difference in the corner, away from the action. I don't want to be bothered. I don't need this. Get too much. They get too much going on here
Yeah.
to deal with it.
Yeah. What was your favorite toy when you were a kid?
Well, my dad had a hobby of electric trains, Lionel electric trains, and he had the basement. I guess two different events. He had all the cars and the tunnels and everything that he made out of like some kind of mud or something, and trees and so forth. And so he's got like 3 trains running all at once, 3 different transformers and so forth. So that was his thing in the basement. That's what he did, and he got involved in that. And then the real thing that was kind of phony about that was that he says, "Well, I'm going to sell the trains because the kids are all gone and they're out of the household." And we get rid of the trains.
Yeah.
And then I think maybe probably 3 years after that, after he'd taken all the trains out, he went back to the guy that he sold the trains to, the track and a lot of the houses and stuff that he built. He bought them all back from the guy. And
Wow.
then he continued to get more trains in, and so,
Just kept going.
yeah. And then at age 79, that's when he died, and
Yeah. Trains were still there.
yeah, yeah, they would have been, but he probably. I don't know. My mother probably took care of selling it to somebody at the train store.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Okay, so I want to talk about just life in the Watson home when you were a kid. Did you have chores? Did your mom and dad give you chores to do? Did you get
Yeah, we did, but it wasn't too regular as I remember. I don't remember having a task to do and had to go out to the garage or wherever to do it.
Okay.
I don't remember that.
Okay.
But I know on occasion my mom would tell me to pick something up or straighten the room or something like that. But no real heavily structured thing.
Okay.
My mother was used to being a homemaker.
Okay.
Mother, and those people do that stuff.
Okay. So they did a lot of it.
Yeah. Well, she did not work. She was not a working mother. So,
Okay.
and she got I think her first job after I got out and into high school and beyond high school, just beyond high school, she got kind of missing stuff, and missing mean there wasn't enough content there. So she says, "Well, I'm going to go get a job," and she did, and she socialized with the ladies there, and she was a good employee. And
Where did she work? I didn't know that. Actually, where did
insurance, Liberty
Oh,
Mutual.
Grammy.
Yeah.
Grammy Watson worked there. I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
So, let's talk about school again, were you involved in any sports or anything like that?
I was on a hockey team that it was just for one season, and I did pretty good since I never had a lesson in skating or anything.
Okay, well, good for you.
So anyway, had all this equipment on it, and I
remember you were a pretty good skater. You would take us roller skating as kids.
Yeah.
We didn't
Oh
do
well,
it
yeah, I
often,
did
but you
roller.
were good
Yeah,
for someone who didn't do it very often.
yeah. Well, ice skating, I skated more. I did a little better than rollerblading, roller or whatever you call it
Roller
now.
skating.